Well, the race trailer is all loaded up. Let's try this again. Hopefully no weather this weekend in the Pacific Northwest. Welcome back to today's video. If you guys are new here, my name is Tanner Holmes, and I'm a 17-year-old sprint car driver from Southern Oregon, and I happen to have a younger sister named Carly who's 14 years old, gonna be 15 soon, and she is gonna be racing this weekend at the Cottage Speedway and at the Coos Speedway. She's super new to sprint car racing. I'm sure a bunch of you guys have followed along with her progress. It was one of the biggest videos on the channel when she turned her first laps in a sprint car last October, and then she just ran her second ever race, but her first race of 2021 back at Cottage Grove a couple weeks ago. She was supposed to run last weekend. In the 22C, we had the trailer all loaded up. We literally weren't thinking rain was even gonna be a factor, but we woke up the morning of the races and Cottage Grove had canceled. But anyway, we got the race trailer all loaded up. There wasn't much to do this week. We worked on my car a little bit, but we're still waiting on some parts. Obviously, there wasn't much to do on the 22C because it was ready to go for last weekend. But the game plan, ISCS, that's like our touring limited series we have here in the Pacific Northwest between Oregon and Washington. I believe it's a 14 or 16 race schedule. It's all 2-day weekends, so you're able to run multiple races in one weekend, and then they have their week of speed, which is 5 or 6 nights in a row. So we're really trying to get Carly some experience with that series because that's where all the limited drivers are gonna come from, you know, all over Oregon and Washington. It's not just like a weekly show. But Carly's second race of the season. Dad, how are you feeling now kind of going into the weekend? I know Coos Bay's a track Carly's never been to, but at least he is gonna get the chance to go to Cottage Grove.
That'll be a good weekend. Hopefully we'll get some good laps and lots of experience.
Absolutely. So we're headed back home now to the race shop. Like I mentioned, the weather's been good down here in Southern Oregon, but I'm not sure how it's going to be the farther we go north and also going towards the coast because Coos Bay is right by the ocean. Well, I made it back to the race shop and I realized I've never really gotten the chance to share with you our merchandise shelf, so here it is. We got the new hats, got some hoodies, t-shirts. We are up to about 3 or 4 different designs with different colors. A couple of different hat options as well. We got some of the hero card stuff, some of the signed autograph pictures that you guys get when you purchase stuff on the website, some of our Red Bluff Outlaw 40 win shirts, and more bins and stuff to store things at the racetrack. So all of that merchandise that you just saw, that is all available on our website, www.tannerholmes.com/shop. You can head on over there and browse all of our items. But anyway, check out who just showed up in the race shop. Carly, finished up with school for the week. How you feeling going into our 2-day weekend?
I'm feeling great. You know, we just came off a few weeks ago, my first race back in the sprint car. So this weekend, I'm definitely going to try to improve some of the things that didn't, like the gas pedal. I want to really improve on that this weekend. So I think a 2-night show is going to be really great for that. And that was one thing that I actually haven't even got the chance to ask you about. But like, how do you feel about going to Coos Bay, already a new racetrack, when you're still trying to figure out, you know, just all the basics of running the car? I think it's actually going to be really great for me just because I love going to new tracks and experiencing like what I need to know for those new tracks. And especially since this is kind of like Cottage Grove, it's like longer straightaways and smaller corners. So I think that's going to be really great. Yeah, absolutely. Coos Bay is one of those weird racetracks. It's like she said, you know, a little bit longer straightaways, but tighter corners and not as wide of a racing surface. One of the things we're fortunate with Cottage Grove is like you have so much room to race. You were kind of working the bottom last time. Working the bottom, other guys were working the top, and there's plenty of room. That's one thing you've probably noticed. Like you're able just to run multiple different lines, especially in the wing sprint car. So Coos Bay is going to be a little bit of a tighter racetrack out there. But Carly's going to be the only one running this weekend. My car is going to be sitting here at home in the shop in Southern Oregon. I did real quickly though, for anybody that doesn't really know a whole lot about the Coos Bay Speedway, one of the tracks we're going to be running this weekend, I wanted to play some footage for you guys. Cottage Grove is super popular here on the channel. We run there like every other week, it feels like, in the summertime when we get going. It's pretty much our local track. So this footage from Coos Bay is actually when I won the 2019 ISCS Week of Speed opener there. And I wanted to play the ending for you guys because this was probably one of the best surfaces we've ever seen at the Coos Bay Speedway. Let's roll the footage.
3 to go this time by Johnson, trying to hold off the ISCS points leader for the huge victory. Holmes is running out of time. Johnson trying to run some perfect laps. She bobbled a little bit. Here comes Tanner Holmes. Holmes could not get by her. Trying to use the momentum at the top. He's going to take the lead down the back straightaway. Tanner Holmes out front. He's going to get the white flag one more time around. Johnson runs second over Mead, Wheeler, and Kendrick Cox out of the B-main up to fifth. Up front, coming on turn 4, Tanner Holmes wins it again. He wins the Speedway opener at Coos Bay.
So hopefully that footage gave you a little bit of a better idea of what the Coos Bay Speedway was like, and also how the conditions might change because it is so close to the ocean. We had Carly though pull up the weather here for the vlog. So earlier in the week it looked like we weren't going to be racing, and then like Tuesday and Wednesday actually the percentages went down, and now what's the forecast looking like?
So 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, Friday morning, it's 30%, which isn't bad. That means that it's probably only going to rain for like 2 to 3, but then it goes up to 50%, and then it kind of goes down. Well, then at 7 a.m., it gets up to 60%.
So the morning this video will be uploaded. So like before this video's up, it's going to be raining.
Yeah, and then it just goes down from there, but it's supposed to stop at 12 p.m., which is noon, so that might be, we might be able to still race if it doesn't rain.
The day we're supposed to be racing, Friday, it's only going to rain up until noon that day, but the problem is Cottage Grove, the pits and everything about it, it just doesn't handle the weather well.
Also at 5 p.m. it says that the sun's supposed to come up, like it's supposed to get hotter around 5, and that's kind of when we start racing, so that might, you know, push it back
we'll just have to see and hope that Mother Nature is on our side. Anyway, I think it's a good chance now to talk about some goals for the weekend. So goal number 1, I think you would maybe agree with me, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but just working on driving the race car harder.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. I think probably be on the throttle, of course, when I do that. So I definitely want to drive the car harder and be on the throttle more.
And just working on getting more comfortable. And Cottage Grove, I think if we get that in, that'll definitely be, you know, perfect for you. Coos Bay, the weird thing about Coos Bay is, like I said, how tight the corners are. It almost just doesn't feel like you're going to be able to make it. But with the Limiteds, they almost get a little bit more winged over than Cottage Grove, and they really turn through the sharp corners there. So depending on the track conditions, that could be a pretty fun night. And now goal number 2, what are we shooting for, Carly?
To make the redraw.
Make the redraw at least one of the nights. So with ISCS, you know, they do usually an 8-car redraw. And to get into that, you have to qualify good and then also run up front in your heat race. You know, maybe if you start front row outside, you got to win your heat. If you qualify quick time in your group, you got to drive forward. So we're going to try to make the redraw one of the nights. And then the third goal is?
To make all the laps.
Make all the laps this weekend. That's, you know, that's the stage Carly is at. That's the stage I was at when I first started. If you're getting started in any division, the main thing is to get as many laps as possible. So that's what we're going to be shooting for. All right, let's hope the weather holds off. We're going to have a great weekend. Anyway, we're going to be waking up early, hoping to see good news from Cottage Grove and go racing for an ISCS doubleheader. But that is going to kind of wrap up today's video. The weather has been great down here. The only thing is it has been a little bit windy, which we're probably going to see that throughout the rest of the weekend. It's usually like that over at Coos Bay because it is so close to the water. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, we might see that at Cottage Grove as well because it's right there by the river. But we're excited to get Carly back on track, and hopefully you guys are excited to follow along with the 2 vlogs as long as we don't have any weather that affects our weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, obviously, since I'm not going to be driving, I'm going to be behind the camera, and I'm going to do my best to document every second of the action, and it should be a lot of fun. So we're going to get some rest tonight, wake up early tomorrow, and head north to Cottage Grove. See you guys all there. Deuces.